You know, we never saw you guys. We were all working at night all the time when you all were in Nashville, so I never saw you either.
Nashville. I love Nashville. It's such a great time.
You worked at night all the time, pretty much.
Yes, we did. It's cold in Nashville.
Okay. So are you going to, like, your next vehicle be a bus? I mean, you have fun driving the bus?
No, it was fun being on it. It's relatively easy to drive. Parallel parking though is a little tricky. You don't get the standard 3-point try to get the parallel parking. Not a lot of spots in Los Angeles to do that. So no, I'm not going to get a bus. I'm happy with the truck that I have now.
Oh, you're a truck woman.
Well, it's a Ford.
Oh,
it's a Ford Explorer.
Kind of
Well, I like to go to flea markets and shove big pieces of furniture in my car, and you can't do that like in a Mazda Miata. So I found it was probably beneficial to me to get a big car. That way you feel a lot more powerful too.
So what's the deal with these Hollywood casting people? Are they seeing you now as Macho Woman? They did you Demolition Man. They went right into Speed. I mean, you know.
Do I appear to be macho to you? Do I look studly?
I don't know. Well, you look pretty studly, yes.
I don't want you to say that. I don't think in Demolition Man I wasn't, macho. Sly had plenty of macho and Wesley.
You're on the peripheral of action, though.
Yes, I'm always on the outside. It just so happened that 2 parts that I really liked happened to have been in action films, and people let me know that it would probably be beneficial instead of doing small, obscure films that nobody's going to see, that if I want to continue doing those films, then I should probably do something a little more commercial and viable in order to fuel those little, projects that I want to do. So it just 2 roles happened to have been in macho films.
Well, they are.
Not this one. It's a sensitive film.
Yeah, it's really sensitive.
So the turn of events led it that way.
Just things happen.
Just things turned out the way they did. So I appreciate it. I mean, I don't think I'll get stuck because the next thing I'm going to do is small. And people, when I was doing small films, were like, oh, she can't do an action.
You've got to be excited over all the people saying, oh, I love Speed, I love Speed, they love this movie.
It's refreshing, it's nice, because you get so exhausted when you know that you have to fight for something, and you fight every day of your life. You're like, I would like not to have to fight this time. And it was a really nice surprise to everybody. Everyone, I don't think, expected what it turned out to be, and they were just surprised. And it's nice not to have to force onto people, like this film, you can like this film. And it's nice to have people coming going, I really like this film, especially women. Women going, I normally don't like action films, and I love this film. I had a great time, and it makes me feel like I've done my job. I've done my job in creating a really cool character that is somebody that I would hang out with, pretty much me. It's not like I spent months creating a character that I started from, the time that they were born and conceived. It was very easy for me. And I had a great time, so it's nice when you have such a good time for it to actually get seen.
Yeah.
Rather than end up in the video store, so I appreciate that a lot.
Tell me about Mr. Reeves. Is he fun to work with? Most of your scenes are kind of with him.
Yeah, Mr. Reeves. He's a very sweet soul. Mr. Reeves. Keanu.
I'm trying to give him his respect in his older age.
Mr. Reeves. He's just a very shy, sweet, good person, and it's so nice to be around that. And I also didn't feel compelled to juggle and perform all the time. When you're around somebody that's calm, you don't feel like you have to be on all the time, and it was really nice for me just to be able to sit and have quiet time, instead of flinging spitballs across the bus, which I did do, but every once in a while I would have quiet time when Keanu got on the bus, and it was helpful to me. I think that's what made the whole process very easy. There's a very calming feeling on the set. Jan, the director, and Mark Gordon, the producer, just are very goofy, like normal people who just have, didn't let the panic interrupt.
Well, this director, in this case, knew exactly where he was going. He had this one all planned out. So
he's had so much experience behind him. People are like, oh, he's a first-time director. I'm like, no. He has more experience than most people who've been directing for a good 10 years. He's so confident in his vision that you automatically get pulled into that flow. When you have somebody that's that confident, you can't help but entrust yourself. And he was so confident that he didn't try to mold us. He was like, I hired you, you go and do your thing. If it's too much, I'll say it's too much. If it's a little, I'll just pull you back, and that is very refreshing and helpful, when they trust you enough to let you just kind of go out of your mind and and they think it's good.
Now, one thing I was looking over you, I was trying to speed through your career real quick, the things I've seen you in doing. And I'm not seeing a lot of love scene action here with you. Now, are you like, is that in your contract that you won't kiss anybody, or
I kissed Keanu.
You do a little kissing.
I kissed him.
We're not doing much kissing.
So. I know.
What's the deal?
It hasn't been a conscious effort. I haven't looked at things and said, I'm not going to do that. I just haven't found anything that had a love scene in it that was something that I wanted to do as a whole project, or maybe just people don't look at me that way. But I just, I like a good love scene just like everybody else. If there's no love scene or kiss in the movie, I'm like, why did I go to see this?
I know.
Are
you married, by the way? Are you?
No.
What is your? You're very single, or not very single?
Living single. I have a boyfriend, but I'm not, I'm not engaged or married or anything like that.
So you're kind of doing all your love scenes privately. In other words, you're not really.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of private work that I'm doing.
You're doing a lot of private
I'm perfecting it. I'm perfecting before I actually want to bring it onto the screen because I want my technique to be just perfect.
Well, I think that's very wise.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I want to leave up to the imagination because I'm so wild that I think people wouldn't know how to accept me. That.
Okay, we can dream. Thank you again. Nice seeing you.
Thank you very much. She's asexual.